Hi, how are you? Good. Hi. Hello. We'll start in a little while, y'all. Give yourself time to get comfortable. And you might hear me say this a few times as more folks come in, but we'll use all of the props this evening. So you can grab 2 blocks, a strap that we'll definitely use for the pose that we're working towards, and there's also therapy balls in the white baskets here. And we'll be doing a lot of things with the knees down on the floor. So if you'd like a blanket for some extra padding, you're more than welcome to grab one. And anything else that you can see or want to use. We don't use the weights or the big pink ball in here, but if you want to have them close just as support, you can. But 2 blocks, a blanket, a strap, and therapy balls. Just hold them. We had, this weekend, there was that guest teacher who came in, Desiree Rumba, and Alex Holmes was in class. And I guess on Sunday, her kid, it was like a 30-minute window when her kid was going to go for a play date. And so it was Ethan, Alex, me, and then my dad right here, all 4 in the corner. And Ethan had taken all of the weights and was making like a little jungle gym for himself quietly. And I was like, you can do anything. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Glad you could make it. Yeah. 2, 3, 3. Sorry. Plenty of space. Tammy, have you had this injury before? Or this sensation before? I think what you're doing is right for it. Yeah. Like lying, anytime something happens, I'm like, get to the earth, lie down, and be as horizontal as I can. Hello. How are you? Good. It's good to see you. What's the date today? Oh. Hi, Amy. Good to see you. You got space up there? You good? Okay. Yay. All right, y'all, we'll get started. It's good to be with you. There'll be a few more folks who trickle in as we start to practice. Technically 3, but there's plenty of room for space for everyone. And thanks for coming. We'll use all of the props like I mentioned. So today we'll definitely use a strap for the pose that we're moving towards. You can grab some therapy balls too. We'll spend some time rolling towards the middle and end of class. And then blocks and a blanket, so the full trifecta, the pile of props, always easy to grab. And I can also bring you anything as we start to get moving, and give yourself time to get comfortable. I say this sometimes on Tuesday nights, but especially on Tuesday evenings. There's very sweet, when you're new to class or new to the studio, you get a very cute blue star next to your name. And there's 4 blue stars today. So for those that are new to class, new to me, new to the space, welcome. And if I didn't officially get to say hi to you all, my name is Anisha. I'm very happy to be here. Happy fall, officially. I know, but the best season is coming upon us, which is the season of Sagittarius. We're still far away from it, but not that I'm biased or wishing for it. I have a whole bunch of announcements. There's so many fall events and workshops going on, and I'll get to them after we start to practice. But today is our last Tuesday, Saturday class. So technically, yesterday in the lunar calendar, in the yogic and Hindu calendar, started, I think yesterday or Sunday, started the official 9-night and 9-day celebration of the goddess called Navratri, where for each of the nights you celebrate a different avatar of the goddess Durga, and her statue is up here. The studio is named after the infinite forms and versions of the goddess, but for the sake of my brain, I'm going to start talking about her in October. So each week will be a different mythological story and a quality of the goddess that we start to emulate. So today will be similar to what we've been sharing, what I've been sharing for the past month, which is stories of one of the great lords of yoga as well. Durga, the warrior goddess, is his mom. And so we're not that far off. And for those of us that are new to each other, you'll have to forgive me because we are some of us teachers are chatty in the beginning of class, but this is the chattiest season of the year, where September, October, November, and December, there's just so many auspicious things going on. So we have to talk about them because it wouldn't be of service. But there are a great lineup of teachers here who get right to moving as soon as you walk in. And so I take no offense if I don't see you until later on, but you'll have to forgive me because I have to share it because these stories are so great. So we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks this god who's peppered all throughout the studio. There's this the stuffed animal. I always like to point to the stuffed animal right above the camera because he is the god who has the head of an elephant and the body of a very large baby boy. His name is Ganesh or Ganpati, and he's most commonly known to be the remover of obstacles. So the joke, but also real thing, is we put a stuffed animal of him above the camera so you don't you can remove the obstacle of bonking your head into the camera, but it happens every class, so if it happens to you, no big deal. But over the past few weeks, I've been sharing a few qualities of him, like how he became to be who he is. How did he get the head of the elephant and the body of a boy? What does he hold in his hands? And today, what I'll share with you is the story of his vehicle that he carries around with him. So famously, all of the great gods and goddesses in the yogic and Hindu tradition always have a vehicle that accompanies them. They're not often seen alone. And they have a vahana, is the Sanskrit word for vehicle. So Shiva, who's here, he's the great lord of destruction, of dissolution, of transformation. His vehicle is the cow, Nandi. We talk about him a lot in March because that's when his season comes up. He's in Aries. And Durga, the warrior goddess, who we talk about next month, she rides on the back of a lion or a tiger, one of the greatest animals in the animal kingdom. And now Ganesh, I know he's small here, but in the mythology, he has this formidable size. He's quite stately, and one of the, elephants are big, and so he takes up a lot of presence. But his vehicle that he rides upon is a tiny little mouse. That's the one that he carries around with him. And today, I'll try and be as quick as possible. I'll share the origin story of how the mouse came to be. So once upon a time, long, long ago, there was a demon, and when you hear the word asura, A-S-U-R-A, in Sanskrit, it translates to one of the shadowy side, the demon itself. And the demon was doing his daily work, meaning he did his daily yoga, his offerings, his meditations, everything that he needed to do in order to seek the attention of Shiva, the gods. And finally, one day, after years and years, Shiva sees this demon and says, "Okay, I see you, what do you want?" And the demon says, "I never want to be defeated by any weaponry. I never want anything to be able to kill me." And Shiva says, "I know you're bad. I know you are a demon. However, you've been doing everything you need to do to receive this boon, so I give it to you. You'll be seemingly immortal." So the demon continues, and he continues to create havoc and chaos. He destroys universes, systems, creates an entire demonic army, and those that are kind of left and remaining say, "Shiva, what have you done? Like, why did you do this? Can you take it back?" And Shiva goes, "No, I can't. This boon is eternal, and the only way is through, to figure out how to get around it." And so Ganesh arrives to the scene, the god of the elephant head, and he is also known, he's not only the remover of obstacles, but he's known for his great determination, to never be deterred by any obstacle or task. And so the story goes is that there becomes a long war. Ganesh goes to battle with this demon, throwing everything he has at him. And the demon decides, you know what, in order to get out of this, I'm going to turn into a little mouse. There's no way he'll be able to see me. Let me shapeshift and transform and kind of scurry my way through the battlefield. And as we know, Ganesh, being the god that he is, found the demon. And instead of destroying him, he decided, "I will now ride you. You will become my vehicle, and you will take me to where I need to go." And so that is one of the origin points of the stories. If you ever hear of another way that this came about, it's not incorrect. There's just different versions and different ways that you can hear all of these oral traditions. But the beauty of this story is that despite the fact that they were not seeing eye to eye, Ganesh and the demon, over time, it became this beautiful symbiotic relationship where one fed the other, quite literally and metaphorically, and the mouse was able to help Ganesh get in, through, and around seemingly impossible scenarios. Ganesh would, in fact, shapeshift on the back of the mouse so he can sneak around and through in tight corners. The end. So why, I always say when I tell these mythological stories in class, like, why am I talking to you about this? It's Tuesday, we're in Philly. Why is this relevant? Who cares? We're doing yoga. And there's two avenues to this path. One, you can take it just as a few moments to hear a phantasmical tale that you may not have ever heard of, a moment to stretch your imagination to where it might not have gone before. But in this yoga tradition, it's thought that these characters and the stories are not separate from us. They are aspects of our own condition, aspects of our own character, where in the story of Ganesh and the mouse, you are the demon, you are the determined, you are the courageous, you are the one that makes mistakes, and you are the one I was going to say something bad, but I'll say it offline when we're not being recorded. I was going to say you are the one that gets ridden upon, but that's not what I mean. I mean, you are the one that shape shifts to be able to accommodate what it is that you need. And so as we move into a practice, we're moving towards a bunch of binds and twists this evening. They are notoriously poses that get you in tighter and stickier situations where your body gets smaller than it naturally would. And so the invitation is to think, what is your vehicle, your little mouse, the fluency of your own breath that helps you get through and around the seemingly impossible? So we'll see where he takes us. The last of the month, Ganesh. Let's begin together in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. You are more than welcome to start fully lying down on the ground. You might start cross-legged, you might be seated up on your knees. And if you are in your seat, take a moment to see what it feels like to sit up on any gentle propping on your blanket or on your block so that your hips can naturally fall higher than your knees, which will help your hip flexors lengthen and your low back move in and up to stack the deck in your favor. And as you let your hands fall anywhere they fall, into your lap, or on top of your thighs, let your eyes soften or close to listen for your own breath. When we close our eyes, it's a moment to turn yourself inward, to temporarily tune out that external stimulation, and to see what's happening in your interior landscape, that world, that universe that exists behind your eyelids. So as you take any gentle adjustments to your seat, to your clothes or your hair as you need, can you feel a drop of stillness as you listen for the vehicle of your breath, that little mouse that you never have to think about, and that breath that is always present? Can you feel your next inhale move from your nose down into your belly and up into your heart? And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very crown of your head, letting your head come stacked above your heart and your heart above your hips. A few more rounds just on your own. As each inhale moves in, down, and wide. And every exhale offers itself back into the earth and up and out in every direction. We'll begin our time and our practice here with each other with 3 more rounds of that breath. So give yourself a moment to gather your hands to center anywhere that feels for you, on your body or in front of your heart in that moment of self-reverence. If your hands are in Anjali Mudra, you might pull your thumbs back to touch your heart as you lift your heart up into your thumbs to meet yourself where you are. Wait for your inhale as it fills you up. And exhale to offer that breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. The bottom of your breath, pause for even a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and remember your breath, your own vehicle. And as you slowly let your hands release, blink your eyes open, let's come forward to tabletop today to begin to link breath and movement together through a few rounds of cat and cow. For those that are new, or maybe it's been a while, I'll be practicing up here from the mat just so that y'all and everyone at home can have a visual, but feel free to call me over at any point, interrupt, ask questions, and I'm more than happy to come see how I can help. But in today's table, you might have your blocks framing out the front corners of your mat. Perhaps you use them as we start to move about. And have your hands be under your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And with your knees under your hips, curl all 10 of your toes under. Begin to feel the arches and the webbing of your feet. If you haven't started already, begin to round and arch your spine, moving with your breath through a few rounds of cat and cow. Let's take 5 cycles of breath here together, just on your own. What it feels like to not just move your body independently, but how your breath and your body can harmonize together. The vehicle of your breath becomes more attuned to the frequency of your own body and being itself. Which means if you'd like to stay in the rounded or arched shape for an extra breath, feel free to do so. Or even move more forward and back, your hips towards your heels or shoulders forward of your wrists. But take one more long breath in through the nose, and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. As you come back to table, find your neutral spine. Watch for any props or neighbors behind you, and let's take a calf stretch. Reach your right leg back, curl your right toes under, and reach through your right heel to notice what you feel in the back of your right leg. You might keep your heel still or slowly bring it forward and back to notice any shift. But as the heel reaches back, can you slide the bottom of your heart forward so that all 4 sides of your neck can grow longer? A deep breath in and a longer breath out. And after a few breaths on the first side, switch. Bend your right knee, reach back through your left, and think heel to the back of your mat as you slide your heart and the crown of your head forward. These little shadowy corners of our body, the calves, the backs of the legs. Can you feel your breath, your little mouse? Imagine as if your inhale could move in and down to wrap around your left calf. And as you exhale, grow longer from your heel out through the crown of your head. Come back to table, find your neutral spine. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders. Let them be as wide as your mat. Bring your knees a few inches behind your hips. And with your toes curled under, take it up and back to downward facing dog. As much time and all the breaths you need to find your way there. In your down dog, walk your feet just an inch wider than they already are. An inch is a lot smaller than you think, so you might bring them a little closer. But as your feet come wider, lift both heels and soften your knees. Let your hamstrings and the backs of your legs release. Now with your knees soft, stick your butt up and back towards the wall behind you. Keep your left knee bent and pedal your right heel towards the earth. Notice what you feel in the back of your right leg. Now bend your right knee, stick your butt high to the sky, and pedal your left heel to the ground as you take a full breath in and a longer breath out. Now at the bottom of your breath, lift both heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. You might have your blocks right there, so your hands come to blocks out in front of your feet. I like to widen my feet an inch and soften my knees to give my low back and hips some extra space. But let your head be heavy if it feels okay for your neck and shoulders. Even slowly nod your head yes, and gently nod your head no as you feel your upper back get heavier to the earth. Now hands climb up onto your hips, stand through your legs, and a big inhale to come all the way up to rise as your hands come by your sides. With your feet right underneath your hips, take an inhale, reach your arms forward and up to the sky. As you exhale, soften your knees to fold over your legs. On your inhale, come up halfway, hands to blocks or shins as your heart reaches forward. And exhale to fold. Plant your palms, step it all the way back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. You might have your knees up. You might tap your knees to the floor behind your hips. But without moving your legs, hug your legs towards each other as if they could become one pillar of energy. Now, without moving your hands, hug your palms towards each other. Feel your forearms and your biceps engage. Now, slide your ears back. Bring your head in line with your heart. A big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Let your hands come as wide as your mat. Take up space. Inhale for cobra or baby cobra as you lift your chest up. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 slow, steady breaths. Just like Ganesh rides the mouse, you ride the currents of your own breath. So can you feel as you inhale, the belly and chest fill and expand? And as you exhale, press down and forward through your palms to lift your hips up and back towards the wall behind you. When you find your next exhale, take your time, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, into your standing forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, think heart long towards the front of the room. And exhale to fold, bowing in. Use your own fists and measure your feet about 2 fists width apart. And as you keep your toes pointing forward, bend your knees, sit your butt back, and climb your palms up to your thighs for this first round of chair pose. Now, as your butt gets heavy to the back of your mat, my knees like to knock in. Can you guide your knees open towards your second and third toes? And now press into your legs to lift your chest. Stay here for more support in your low back. If you want to add some heat in the upper body, reach your arms up overhead, but remember your breath. Take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Think butt heavy to the back of your mat as you lift your chest and your gaze away from the floor. On an inhale, come up to rise, stand through your legs, reach up, touch the sky, and exhale to fold, bowing in. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. And now spin your left heel to the floor like warrior 2. With your hands on blocks or fingertips, one hand at a time, walk your hands to the top left corner of your mat. So your body will come to the inside of your right leg. In this hybrid pose called down dog lunge, picture from your hips up, you're in downward facing dog. So walk your hands forward of your shoulders, bring them as wide as your shoulders. From your hips down, you're in warrior 2. So guide the right knee open towards the pinky toes. And now listen for your breath. Take a full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. You might bend into your right thigh as you guide your right knee away from your right armpit towards the pinky edge of your right foot. Good. Now the legs stay the same. Walk your hands back to come under your shoulders. Climb your right forearm up onto your right thigh and bring your left hand to your left hip as you face the long edge of your mat. That's it. As you feel both feet on the ground, hug your legs in towards each other. And now send the top of your left thigh up and back towards the back of your mat. Here, begin to sweep your left arm down out in front of you and then forward towards the front of the room for extended side angle, Parsvottanasana. As you stretch through the left fingertips, slide your ribs back, bring the shoulder blades together, and slide your ears back to lean back. A full breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend 1 more inch into your front thigh. Now inhale to unwind, look to the earth, bring your hands to the floor and step your left foot forward to meet your right. Come back into your forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, reach the heart and head forward, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. Second side, keep your left foot forward, step your right foot all the way back to your lunge. Spin your right heel to the floor like warrior 2. And now with your hands on blocks or fingertips, walk your hands to the right corner and the right side of your mat. You might be on the floorboards, you might be on your sticky mat, but walk your hands forward an inch and wider an inch. And as you press through your palms, push them down and forward to lift your butt up and back towards the long edge of your mat. A full breath in through your nose. Stay for your exhale. As your hips lift high, can you bend into your left thigh and guide your left knee away from your left shoulder? That's it. Keep listening for your breath. And on your next inhale, the legs stay the same. Walk your hands back to lift your chest. And for Parsvottanasana, start with your left forearm to your left thigh and bring your right hand to your hip. Now, sometimes when the left forearm comes to the thigh, we kind of lean into it like you're watching TV. Push into your left thigh and shrug your left shoulder up and back. Now sweep your right arm down, out in front of your belly, and then forward towards the front of the room. And as you stretch through your right fingertips, think bottom ribs back. Slide your ears back to lift your chin. and bend into that front thigh. A full breath in through your nose, a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. And on your inhale, unwind, lower your hands, plant them to the floor, and step it all the way back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels, breath to notice what you see and feel. And now wait for your inhale as you come forward to plank pose. As you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the inhale to rise, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades together on the upper back. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. A long breath in through the nose. A deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. And now from down dog, lift your right leg up and back. And as you exhale, draw your right knee to your nose for core plank. So shoulders come right over the wrists. You can always tap your right toes to the earth, but lift your left thigh higher, lift your butt higher, and now scoop your right thigh 2 more inches further forward. Inhale to extend your right leg up and back. 1 more as you exhale, right knee to left shoulder with a twist. Lift your left thigh, lift your butt, look forward, and then maybe draw the right thigh a centimeter further forward. Inhale, reach the right leg all the way up and back. And as you exhale, step it forward to catch your lunge. Wait for your breath. Come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms, your chest, and your torso to the sky. You might walk your right foot an inch or 2 over to the right so your feet are less on a balance beam. But lift up through your back heel away from the ground as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Bend 1 more inch into your front thigh as you grow taller through the crown of your head. Now hands come to your hips. Tiny bend in your back knee, get springy, and all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. Stand down through your right leg. Grow 1 inch taller through the crown of your head. And now cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Sit your butt back into your chair for standing figure 4. Your hands might stay on your hips. If you want to hold something solid, bring them high up onto blocks in front of you. You might bring your hands to your chest or up overhead. But remember your breath, a full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Think butt to the back of your mat as you lift your heart and your gaze away from the floor. On an inhale, come all the way up to rise. Lower your feet, feel gravity beneath you, and let your hands come down by your sides. Now, as you press through your feet, grow 1 inch taller. This time, drop your right arm towards the floor. Picture like your right arm has an anchor on it. And as you drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, let your butt start to sway over to the left. Now, as that right arm gets heavy and you tip to the right, slowly begin to sweep your left arm in front of your chest and then over to the right for this version of standing crescent. Breathe into the left side waist. Slide your ears back to lift your chin. Maybe bring your arm back in line with your ear to broaden through your chest. And now sweep your left arm forward, come all the way up to stand, a big breath in, and open your mouth to let that breath out. Whew. Inhale to reach up, touch the sky. As you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Plant your palms to the top of your mat, walk your feet all the way back to the back of your mat for downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale to lift your left leg to the sky. As you exhale, left knee to your nose for core plank. Pause here. The right thigh wants to drop. Lift your right thigh higher. Lift your butt higher. And into that, scoop your left thigh an inch further forward. Inhale to reach your left leg all the way up and back. Last one, as you exhale, left knee to right armpit. Lift your back thigh high. Lift your butt higher. Look forward and maybe draw the left thigh a centimeter further forward. Inhale, extend your left leg up and back. And on your exhale, take your time, step it through or around to catch your lunge. Wait for your breath. Find the vehicle of your breath as you inhale, come up to rise for high lunge on the second side. Walk your left foot again as much as you need to the left. But as your back, heel, knee, and thigh grows tall, Stretch up through your fingertips, and can you look away from the floor as you take a big breath in? And a longer breath out, bend into your left thigh. Now maybe your hands stay overhead or you bring them to your hips. Tiny bend in your back knee, get springy, and all the hops you need to scoop your right thigh to your chest. Stand into your left leg, grow tall up through the crown of your head. And now cross your right ankle over, sit back through your butt, bend your left knee into your chair for pigeon chair, a hip opener. Anywhere your hands go to steady you, blocks in front of your chest or up overhead, can you call yourself to the vehicle of your own breath? Let your next inhale move in and down, fill your belly and up into your chest. Stay for your exhale, let your butt get heavy as your heart lifts away from the floor. Now on your inhale, come all the way up to rise. Lower your feet to the ground, feel gravity catch you, and let your hands come down by your sides. Take a breath to grow tall. Now with your left arm like an anchor, begin to tip over to the left as your left arm gets heavy. Sway your hips to the right. And as your left ear drops towards your left shoulder, even breathe into the right side of your neck. Now at the last possible moment, begin to sweep your right arm in front of you and then off to the side for a side bend. Think ribs back, slide your ears back, and then maybe bring your right arm back in line with your ear. On your inhale, lower the right arm down, come all the way up through center, a big breath in to reach up. And on your exhale, fold in towards yourself. Plant those palms to the top of your mat. Walk your feet all the way back to take it back to downward facing dog. And now from your down dog, inhale through to plank pose and exhale to lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, make a pillow with your hands. Rest on your forehead or on one of your cheeks. Close your eyes for a moment and call back to that little mouse, that vehicle of your own breath. As you feel the ground heavy beneath you, can you let your belly broaden and widen and notice how it expands in your low back? As you breathe into your belly and then up into your chest, feel the whole back of your body expand. Now keep that connection to your breath as we find a round of locust pose here on the ground. So this time, reach your arms alongside of you, flip your palms down to face the floor, like airplane wings on either side of you. And before you lift up, feel your legs back in space, like we did in that first plank. Hug your legs towards each other. They do not have to touch, but feel them energetically hug in. Now hug the shoulder blades together. As you inhale, lift your head, your chest, float your arms up off of the floor, and exhale to lift your legs up and away from the ground. As you lift off, close or soften your eyes and really listen for your breath. With each inhale, can you hug the inner thighs towards each other? Think inseams of your pants towards the ceiling. And now hug the shoulder blades together and lift your palms one more inch, a big breath in. And on your exhale, release. Lower down, you can rest on your other palm or on the other side of your cheek. You might softly wiggle your hips from side to side or stay still, breathing full and wide into your belly and chest. Now, if you have your strap close by, you can find and locate your strap. I'll talk you through one more round of locust pose, and you get the option. You can do exactly what you just did. When your arms are free, it'll give your chest more space. Or you might start off in a bind, bringing a strap between your hands. We're at your low back, about hip width distance or wider apart. But wherever you are with your arms free or holding onto your strap, let your head or cheek rest on the ground. And now we come in for round two. Hug your thighs towards each other. Hug your shoulder blades together. On your inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, lift your arms off of the floor or your butt, and exhale to lift your legs up and away from the ground. As you take flight, close or soften your eyes and remember your own breath. Each inhale, the inner thighs hug in. Every exhale, you tug your strap apart, Hug the shoulder blades together and lift your arms 1 more inch off your butt. A bigger breath in. And on your exhale, release. Ditch the strap, rest on your other cheek. Stay still, but feel your breath wash its way over you. After a few breaths here on the ground, bring your hands to either side of your chest. Press yourself up through the tabletop onto your hands and your knees. You might sit back onto your heels, sip some water, take a breath or two, and we'll spend a few moments on the knees before we proceed. Getting warmer? The AC is on. I can make it colder. Okay, drink water. Remember, you can take breaks at any point that you need to. But let's spend a few moments on the knees. So if you'd like a blanket for some extra padding, please feel free to grab one. We'll take this one into a thigh stretch. You might also bring your hands up onto blocks. But in your tabletop, walk your right foot to the outside of your right hand into this lizard lunge variation. Now look down this left hip directly above your left knee. If it is, another inch or two, so your thigh is more at a diagonal. And now one hand at a time, walk your hands over to the left and look back at your left foot. See if you can see it in space. Now as you look at it, bend your left knee and lift your left toes up off of the ground. And with your right hand on your block, reach your left hand around for the pinky side edge of the left foot, or you might lasso your strap around your foot to take the thigh stretch. And once you have a hold of the foot, start to look forward and then carefully, mindfully, begin to walk your right hand back to the inside of your right leg. Good, you can stay here. Keep your right hand on the ground to steady your ground. If you want to play with some balance, you might climb your right palm up onto your right thigh. You might also reach your right hand out and around to grab onto your left foot. But anywhere you are, listen for your breath. Take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Can you look away from the ground, lift your heart, and bend 1 more inch into your front right leg. Now let your right hand come down first, then release your left foot. Plant your palms and take it back to tabletop onto your hands and your knees, and notice any difference that you feel and see. You feel a thigh stretch, left thigh, talking or whispering or screaming at you? Something happening. Okay, let's do the other side. So in your table, the higher your hands are up on blocks, the more access you might have that foot. So with your hands on blocks or the floor, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Walk your right knee back as much as you need so your thigh is more at a diagonal. And now one hand at a time, slowly walk your hands over to the right. Now you might actually look at it or with your mind's eye, feel your right foot. Now bend your right knee and reach your right hand around for the pinky side edge of your foot, a strap the leg of your. You're more than welcome to stay here, or with steadiness, with your breath, you might walk your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Thighs and hips feel very different from side to side, so it might feel more supportive to stay here. Or you might explore that balance variation, left palm to your left thigh, or your left hand might wrap around to grab your right foot. But remember your own breath, a deep breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale, lift your heart. Can you look away from the floor and maybe bend into that front leg? Now with care, release your left hand first, then let go of your right foot. Plant your palms and back to tabletop we meet onto your hands and your knees. That's it. From your table, bring your strap. We'll do one more thing here on the knees. Bring your strap and bring it to the right side of your mat. We'll find a variation into a side stretch. So to come back to tabletop onto all fours. And this time in your tabletop, just like we did, bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand for that lizard lunge. Once your right foot comes to the outside of your right hand, this time look down and swing your left foot to the right. So it's like a kickstand. So turn your left foot 90 degrees. Keep your right hand on the block and climb your left hand up onto your left hip as you open up to the long edge of your mat. Now it's like extended side angle. Your back knee just happens to be on the floor. So as you begin to sweep your left arm out in front of you, then reach your left arm forward towards the front of the room. Now here, the right leg will want to take all of your weight. See if you can lean your butt back, let your left thigh get heavy, and as you stretch through the left fingertips, begin to turn your belly and chest open to the ceiling. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Now look down to the ground. Locate your strap, and like a big jump rope, loop your strap around your right foot. That's it. Bring your strap around your bottom right foot, and now hold both edges of the strap with just your left hand. Keep your right hand on the block inside of your right thigh, and slowly begin to bend your left elbow and turn your chest open to the sky, giving yourself as much slack on the strap as you need. Push your right thigh into your right arm. Push your right arm into your thigh and let that turn your chest open to the ceiling. A deeper breath in. Stay for the exhale. Try to release the gripping sensation of your fingers around the strap. And then slowly look to the ground. Bring your hands to the floor and unpretzel yourself to take it back to tabletop. Any questions? Because we're going to do it like 6 more times. Everywhere. The question was, where are you supposed to feel that? And there's no wrong answer. It's, I feel a huge side stretch here. I feel, especially because, like I was saying, I know there's a lot of cues, but with one foot forward, sometimes we want to dump the weight into that leg. I want to. So I'm trying to ask you to lean your butt back. And as you stretch through the fingertips, it's like a huge side body stretch. Is that helpful? But also, no, some people might feel it in the hip, in the thigh, in your brain, anywhere. Let's do the other side. So come to table, have your strap to the other side of your mat, and come onto all fours. Now this time in your tabletop, bring your left foot in between your blocks, in between your hands. Swing your right heel to the left. Keep your left hand on the floor or on the block on the outside of your left foot, and climb your right palm up onto your right hip. Good. Think like there's a little walnut between your shoulder blades. You don't want to let it drop. Hug the right shoulder blade to the left to the right, and slide your ears back. Now begin to sweep your right arm in front of your belly, and then forward towards the front of the room. That left leg is forward. It's going to want to take all of your weight. Lean your hips back. Feel your right leg get heavier. And as you stretch through your right fingertips, feel your belly, your chest begin to spin open to the ceiling, revolve. Good, now keep that as you look to the earth, locate your strap, bring your strap like a loop around your left foot. And now just your right hand holds onto both edges of the strap. As you send your hips back, start to give yourself enough slack on the strap so that you can bend your right elbow and turn your belly and chest open to the ceiling. Now, same as we did before, slide the ribs back. Bring the shoulder blades together, slide your ears back, and now guide your left knee open towards your left pinky toes, breathing. In through the nose. Stay for the exhale. Try to release the clawing and the gripping of your fingers around the strap. And now look to the earth, bring your hands down, take it back to tabletop, and a breath or two as you arrive. Okay, we've made it. So like I said early on in the beginning of class, binds is what we're moving towards. And the pose that we're doing today is a combo, a side stretch, an arm balance, a hamstring opener, and a bind. It's the whole shebang. And it's not a pose that we are looking to stay in for 10 breaths, let alone 3 breaths. But it's a place in which we get to experience a little curiosity, a little interest. So in the beginning of class, when I was telling you that story, when I first heard the story of Ganesh and the mouse, I said, you know, that Shiva, the one who gave the gift, he gave the boon, he knew this little demon. Why did he give him this seeming immortality? Like if you, the God of all the power, see someone who's living in the shadows, why are you giving them power? And I was reminded that even though the Asura that turned into a mouse was known to be a demon, that didn't mean that he wasn't doing all of the necessary work. The story literally starts off, he's doing yoga every day, he's doing meditation every day, he's doing his daily offerings. And so those that live in the shadows and those that live in the quote-unquote light, there's no difference in the amount of work that they're doing. It's just dependent on which direction you start to see it in. So I'm telling you this now because the metaphor is, it is very easy to accommodate and continue on those patterns that may not serve us. Yeah, it's easy to do the things that we're used to. It is much harder to kind of see the different ways in which we can move. And I say that now because if what I'm about to show you next, you're like, Anisha, I do not want to do that. There's no interest, but you see everyone else doing it around you. There is no obligation whatsoever to move in this direction. You can do exactly what we just did, because that's the exact same sensation we're looking for. Or the second variation, and remember we're doing it once with the knees down and then once more with the knees up. It looks like this. You set up the same way that we just did before, and you'll do this in a second and I'll talk you through it. This time you bring your strap around your foot. And now here, instead of pulling back, you keep your hand close to the foot with as much slack as you need. As you lean into your hand, you lift this foot up off the ground. And now if I were to be on the floor and not the sticky mat, this is what would want to happen. This leg would lift and whoop, that back leg would want to slide back. So that's why I'm seeing, if you can, as this foot lifts, watch this back thigh. I'm sending it up and back, up and back. And then maybe this leg extends forward. Maybe this leg extends towards the front of the room as my belly and chest turns open to the sky for this version of Vishvamitrasana. You might feel that one. There might be no questions as to where that one is felt, but that means it's the same sensation in the side body. The pro tip I want to show you, we did that figure 4 earlier, the standing figure 4. The reason why I show it this way, of the knee bent, you see how this leg is the same leg as figure 4? If I were standing. So instead of going straight out, when you do the hip opener, it helps create more length in the hamstring so that you can be here for a sustainable amount of breath. And it's not just like crapshoot and then come down. Does that make sense? In theory? Let's try it. Yeah? Like I said, if you saw that and you were like, Anisha, no, don't. Keep your foot on the ground, and I'll cue you through the version where your foot stays down and you do exactly what we just did with the strap. But let's see how it goes. Bring your strap to the left side of your mat. Come into tabletop, and bring your hands on the floor, or I like to come up onto blocks. Now step your right foot in between your hands. Swing your left heel to the left. Keep your right hand on the block and bring your left hand to your left hip. That's it. Hug the shoulder blades together. Slide your ears back to lean back. And now notice the tendency. The right knee wants to knock in. Guide it open towards your pinky toes and slide your ears back. Now locate your strap. Look down. Let your left hand loop your strap around your right foot. And keep your right hand on a block 1 digit lower than it is. If it's at its highest height, bring it 1 digit lower. Now, if you're moving into that version we did, go for it. Keep your foot down and straighten your strap. If you're moving towards lifting the foot, keep your left hand close to the right foot. Lean into your right hand and lift your right foot up off the ground. Now, draw your right knee towards your right armpit. Bend your right knee. Shrug your left shoulder up and back, and then maybe straighten your right leg straight ahead towards the flat wall. Maybe you bend your left elbow and start to swing your right leg forward towards the front of the room. Turn your belly and your chest to the sky as you revolve around yourself. Whee! When you want to come out, when you do not want to do this anymore, look to the ground. Lower your right heel and peel yourself back to tabletop. Okay, y'all.
Is it going to be more or less challenging the closer you are to the foot?
I find it gives me more tension when I'm closer to the foot. You know, like I can create a little more resistance versus when my hand is, this isn't to say like, don't give yourself slack from the strap, but I find when I start here, it gives me resistance that I can push into versus when I start here, the strap is a little flappy in the breeze. That's the technical yoga term. Let's try the other side. Tabletop, hands on the ground or hands on blocks, and bring your strap off to the right. Step your left foot in between your hands. Swing your right heel to the right and climb your right hand up onto, is that right? Right heel to the left? You know. Right hand to your right hip. There's a lot of rights and lefts in this one. Now with your left hand on the block or on the floor to the outside of your left leg, guide your left knee open, shrug your shoulder blades together and slide your ears back. Breathe. Feel the vehicle of your own breath. And now look to the earth, locate your strap. Use your right hand to loop your strap around your left foot. And feel free, move at your pace. You can keep the left foot on the ground and straighten your arm on the strap, or lean into your left hand. Lift your right foot up off the floor. Right knee or left knee to your left armpit, like figure four. Get into the hip opener. And then straighten your left leg towards the brick wall. Give yourself enough slack on the strap to swing your left leg forward as you turn your chest open to the sky. Breathing. Whee! And when you are ready, lower your heel, lower your hands, take it back to table. You might take a few breaths in cat and cow, a few breaths in child's pose, a few breaths in down dog, but call yourself back to your breath. That little mouse, that vehicle, that shape shifts to where and how you need it to move. Okay, because we only do this pose once or twice a year, so lucky y'all who came for the first time. Class is not always like this, but I want to give one more option because we're all primed and ready for it. Like I said, if you see what I offer next, you have to gauge how much metaphorical gas is left in the tank, and if you're ready to slow down, you're more than welcome to. We're going to meet you right there in a few moments. But if you'd like the alternative version, not alternative, but different version, it comes in from down dog. So I'll show you on one side. I'll talk you through it. And we can, if there's any questions, we can figure those out. So this one looks slightly similar but different. So you, from your down dog, you walk your feet an inch closer towards your wrists. And remember we did those core planks. You lift your leg and you draw your knee towards your armpit. Now you spin your back heel to the ground and lean into your foot. What was going to happen, what wants to happen, gravity gets you. Gravity gets me. Your hips will want to drop and this bottom back thigh will want to drop. So you want to do your best to lift your hips up and back, and then maybe you find your strap around that foot. And it's the same action. Figure four, straighten your leg. Maybe this leg swings out in front of you. Back thigh lifts up and back, and I turn my chest open to the sky. And then when you want to come out, heel down. Yeah? It's called Vishvamitrasana, friend of the universe is the name of this pose. You befriend the complicated to befriend the inner world. So again, if you saw that and you're like, Anisha, it's Tuesday, I don't want to do that. Don't. At all. You can lie on your back with your head up towards me, feet towards the wall behind you, and we'll be there in a second, and you can take figure four on your back. You can also do exactly what we just did, yeah? Sometimes when you do something the second time, you gain a little more insight. But if you're interested in this version, I'll talk you through it. For those that are doing something else, I'll cut you loose temporarily, and we'll meet you very soon. But if you're coming into this version of Vishvamitrasana, have your strap off to the left side of your mat and come into your downward facing dog, please. Take a breath. In your down dog, bring your hands as wide as your mat. Now walk your feet an inch closer towards your wrists. Lift your right leg up and back and draw your right knee to your left shoulder. Now spin your left heel all the way to the ground. Lean into your right hand and lift your back thigh up and back, up and back. Now locate your strap. Use your left hand and loop your strap around your right foot. Lift your left thigh up and back, butt up, butt up, butt up. And then maybe you draw your right knee to your right shoulder. Maybe you straighten your right leg slowly towards the front in front of you. Maybe you straighten your right leg towards the front of the room as your heart revolves to the sky. Wahoo! When you do not want to do it anymore, sometimes gravity catches you, sometimes your heel comes down and you lower down. Yeah? One more side. We got the other leg. Gotta do it. Otherwise we leave one side longer than the other. So last and final round. And then we don't do this again until April of next year. So from downward facing dog, have your strap off to the right side of your mat or the other side. If you're feeling it in your wrists, a few things. Turn your hands so that your thumbs are facing more to the front of the room. But you gotta claw the mess out of your fingertips, like your wrists could come up off the floor. Now walk your feet an inch closer. Lift your left leg up and back. Take a breath in. As you exhale, left knee to right shoulder. Spin your right heel to the ground. And now lift your butt. Lift your right thigh up and back. Use your right hand to grab your strap. Loop it around your left foot. And now lift your right thigh up and back, ass to the sky. And then maybe you bend your left knee, draw it towards your left shoulder. Maybe you straighten your left leg towards the brick wall. Maybe your left leg reaches forward as you turn your chest open to the sky, breathing. When you're ready, take your time to lower your heel, lower your hands, and come to downward facing dog. So by popular demand, we're actually all gonna meet on your back. But if you wanted to come to down dog just to reset, but as you come onto your back, can everyone have their heads up towards me, feet towards the back of the room, have your therapy balls within a reachable distance, and have your block within a grabbable distance. And if you need therapy balls, you can raise your hand, you can stay where you are and I can bring them over to you. But have your therapy balls just off to the side, have your block off to the side. Come onto your back, bend your knees, bring your feet onto the ground. Let your feet come as wide as your mat and knock your knees into one another. Let the weight of your legs support the other. As your hands come onto your belly or onto your chest, close or soften your eyes and take a breath into your hands. Call yourself back to earth. The story of Ganesh. He went to battle with the demonic mouse. He threw everything he could until the mouse shapeshifted and he had to transform. Here, your metaphorical battle completed, can you ride your vehicle of the breath? Breathe not just into the front of your body, but let the back of your body broaden and widen. As the back of your body expands, can you breathe into the front parts of your being? Take one more full breath in through your nose and open your mouth to let every drop of that breath out. Now a few rounds of breath in supported bridge. So with your knees bent, feet on the ground, bring your knees over your ankles and walk your heels close towards your tush. So your heels are pretty close to your butt cheeks. Wiggle your shoulder blades towards one another. Press the back of your head. And now press through your legs to lift your hips and slide a block to its lowest or second lowest height right underneath your pelvis, your hips, your tailbone, your butt. Think less in the bendy part of your low back, but more at the weight of your hips itself. And if you want to come up higher, I like to stack the 2 blocks on top of each other. I find it gives me a lot more support and less wobbling. But anywhere you are, wiggle the shoulder blades towards one another. Gently press your head down to lift your chin away from your chest. Let there be space for breath to come through. And as your hands rest on your belly or alongside of you or on your hips, take 4 deep breaths at your pace. Nice. See if you can draw your knees just a little closer together. There you go, and then lengthen. Perfect. Can you breathe from your belly up into your heart? And as you exhale from heart to belly, call yourself back to earth. Can you walk your feet a little closer together and see if your knees can be in line? It might give you a little more space in the low back. That's perfect. And then actually heels back to your butt. There you go. A long, steady breath in and a deep, clear breath out through every direction of you. Now, with the least amount of effort needed, press through your legs to lift your hips and slide those blocks or block out from underneath your butt. Once your hips come onto the ground, let your feet come as wide as your mat, and just being mindful of neighbors and any props. Feet wide, knees wide. Drop your knees over to the right hand side like windshield wipers on a car. On an inhale, bring your knees back up through center. And a long exhale to drop your knees over to the left. Do that one more time at tempo with your breath. Inhale, the knees come up. Big exhale, the knees drop over. Let the belly be soft and full. Let the hips soften onto the earth and let the back of your head be heavy. Now the next time your knees come back through center evenly, give them a squeeze in towards your chest. You might make some small circles in one or the other direction, or lean gently from side to side. Or you might come to your variation of happy baby as you widen your knees and thighs. Perhaps your hands catch the backs of your thighs, your calves, or the pinky edges of your feet. But let the back of your head and your tail get heavy to the earth. I've done a lot of asymmetrical work this evening. Just see what it feels like to find some symmetry in the right and left and front and back of your being. As you take a full breath in, and on your exhale, release your legs down to the earth. Locate your therapy balls. This evening, I'll talk you through therapy balls in the upper back. And there's options. If you'd like to set up early for rest, you are more than welcome. We'll meet you there momentarily. But if you're interested in therapy balls in the upper back, you can in their tote or tape, up to you. But lift your head and shoulders up off the ground, and from your upper back, pop the therapy balls in between your shoulders. So think instead of coming from underneath the shoulders, come from all the way up top. And now once you find the therapy balls on either in between the wings of your shoulder blades, either get heavy to the floor, or if you'd like to alleviate any pressure, you might bring your head up onto a block at its lowest height. Because this work with the therapy balls, it's less about the most places of sensation, but seeing if your breath can guide you through all the fluctuations. Take a long breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let that breath out as you let your arms get heavy and the back of your head soften into its support. Now to find 2 more places here in the upper back, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the ground, and with the least amount of effort needed, push through your legs and roll your body towards the front of your mat, towards the top of your mat. So you feel the therapy balls move down your back. And as they come to the middle tips of your shoulder blades, just a few inches lower than where they just were, Let your head come onto the floor or onto your block. A big breath in. And open your mouth to let that breath out. You might stay right here. Or to find any gentle variation, perhaps you reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And being mindful of any props or neighbors around you, perhaps you keep your left arm to the sky and reach your right arm overhead towards the front of the room. And then begin to switch. And see if you can move 5% slower than you are already, moving with the fluency of your breath in through your nose and out through your nose or mouth. After a few breaths here, you can lower your arms down by your sides. And for one last place with your knees bent, feet on the ground, press through your legs and roll your body a few more inches north until the therapy balls come south to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, the very back bottom of your heart. A bigger breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. And again, there's so much to do in stillness with the fullness of your breath. Or you might reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And this time, give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for your therapy balls behind your back. Let your palms be soft. Let your fingers ungrip. You might lean gently from one side to the other or stay still. If you are giving yourself a hug, you might switch which elbow is on top to notice any difference. But after a few breaths, unravel your arms. Reach one or both of your arms overhead. And now roll over onto your favorite side to peel yourself off the therapy balls. Press yourself up to a seat. And this is the last time we'll come up before it's time to come down. But an invitation for Shavasana this evening. If you'd like some more clearance in the low back, you might stack your blocks at their lowest height, touching each other, and drape your blanket over those blocks so that you create a little shelf. And as you come to lay down with your head to the front of the room, feet to the back of the room, your knees will drape over the blankets and block as you come to lay down onto the earth. If for any reason this doesn't feel like it's the most comfortable place to be, you can always adjust or shift or move. You might be in a side laying Shavasana or laying on your belly. But here, with those knees slightly elevated and your heels touching something solid, it's space in the low, mid, and upper back of your body. Your hair down, or set your glass off to the side. But if there's anything you need to become even 1% more comfortable than you are already, please feel free to take it. I'll guide you and talk you through just a few rounds of pranayama to prepare the body for rest and to draw your attention more inward. But for this interrupted or suspended breath called Viloma Pranayama, I really invite you to follow your pace more than my voice. Start by taking a breath from your nose to fill your belly and up into your chest. And with the lips closed, exhale through your nose to empty chest and belly. Picture your next inhale in 3 separate parts. From the nose, inhale to fill just your belly, retain. Fill your lungs and the sides of your waist, hold. Fill up into your chest, pause at the top, and exhale through your nose to empty heart, lungs, and belly. Hold for a moment as you begin again. Inhale, fill the belly, gently hold. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill the back and front of your heart, softly pause. And exhale through your nose to empty chest, lungs, and belly. 2 more times. Inhale, the belly fills, retain. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill the back and front of your heart, pause. And exhale through the nose to empty chest, lungs, and the belly. Last one. In, fill your belly, retain. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill up into your heart, pause. And exhale through the nose to empty heart, lungs, and all the breath through your belly. Now, without any holds or pauses, take a breath to fill your belly, your chest, your throat, up into the crown of your head. And as you exhale, let every ounce of your breath go. Find that slow cadence of your vehicle, your breath, where each breath dissolves the entire practice that was. Each breath helps you to where you are now. And every breath that comes after makes a little more room for what has yet to come. So as you let your breath, let you become heavier into the earth, the heavier you become, the more expansive, the more spacious, and the more divine you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in, down and wide. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head softly from one side to the other. Or just being mindful of any props or those around you. You might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your own chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, feel your feet flat on the blocks or on the floor as you reach one or both arms overhead and roll to any side of your choice to curl into yourself. A breath or two here against the ground. And now with the least amount of effort needed, press into the floor and come up to rise to a tall seat, just as we started, facing the front of the room. With your eyes softly closed or softly open, can you once again turn to that vehicle of your breath, that tiny mouse that carries you in and through the seemingly precarious. We'll finish our time with one more round of that breath. You can draw your hands to center anywhere that feels for you. As you take a deep breath in, to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but sincere gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to each one around you who practiced right alongside with you. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone. Drink water, take great care of yourselves and one another. If there are any props or things that you used from the studio, I'll turn the lights up slowly, but there are wipes here to give things a little swipe with. It just helps keep everything as tidy as we love to see it. And then the couple announcements I have are this Saturday I'm teaching the last of the free classes at the Art Museum. It's in the Sculpture Garden. It's 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. for the early birds, and it's BYO Matt. And for those that are interested, Siobhan, who works at the Art Museum, who comes to class, you get a discount to the museum that's valid for a year. And there's so many events and activities going on. So that's this Saturday. And then Eric, who was teaching downstairs when we started, is offering 2 restorative classes this weekend. So if you want to get yourself tucked in and transport to the astral plane, it is this Saturday and Sunday from 5:30 to 7. And whenever I take his or Adriana's restorative class, it's a joke, but it's also serious. I have to call someone to pick me up because when I leave, I don't know where I am, or better than anesthesia. But that's this, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But that's all I got. Anyone else have stuff? Any announcements from y'all? Things that people should know about, that they should go to, that they should see?
I'll mention something.
Yes.
We're about 4 days into Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month. Roundup of all sorts of events. So there's hiking. 3.5 more weeks.
Sharon? Thank you. Has anyone been to the Calder Museum? Me either. It's on the list. They opened, NPR was talking, it just opened on Sunday. Okay, bye-bye. See you.